Hey, welcome back. With the recent return of full use of my right hand, it's time to get back to work. I have a lot of testing to do this winter. The first thing that I need to test, that I've been putting off because of my hand, is primer seating depth or primer crush. I've seen the endless arguments online about the right way to seat primers. Regardless of the opinions of all involved, I don't see a lot of test data out there. Today's video is simply a summary of the testing that I did last weekend. If you want specific details about the entire process and all the data gathered, that information is available to my patrons. Go check out my Patreon page if you just have to see the whole ball of wax. Before we start loading ammo for such endeavors, we need to start by designing a test that will give us the information that we seek. Unfortunately, I don't have an unlimited budget of components for testing of this sort. In this case, I can spare approximately 50 rounds of ammunition. The challenge is to test enough different configurations in order to ensure that I've covered the span of common primer crush settings. With my handy-dandy measuring tools, I set out to test the following primer crush settings on the Wolf large rifle primers that I'm using. There will be 10 rounds each of just touching the bottom of the pocket. 1 thousandths of crush, 3 thousandths of crush, 5 thousandths of crush, and 7 thousandths of crush. Before we go any farther, I need to tell you this because various statisticians watch my videos. This test, by definition, is not going to be statistically significant. In other words, we cannot make firm assertions that what we see in this test is the absolute extent of variations between primer crush values. Instead, we will be looking for strong suggestions that there are differences between primer crush values and nothing more than that. With our test designed, it's time to load some ammo. You'll have to forgive me for that, as the YouTube rules do not allow me to give you instruction on manufacturing such things. And I'm a guest here. Let's get right to the test results. Testing was accomplished on a 37-degree Fahrenheit day with very light winds. All 50 shots were fired in one series, with each 10 shots within that 50-shot series containing 2 of each crush setting, to try to avoid barrel condition and environmental effects from coloring the results any more than necessary. While evaluating the group shot with all 50 rounds, I found a few instances where the point of impact shifted vertically for anywhere from 2 to 4 rounds at a time. That makes assessing group size changes really treacherous. It would be far too easy to create a false impression as to the impact on group size. For that reason, I'm going to exclude that information from this video and concentrate on the velocity results. A surprising result of my testing was that as primer crush increased, the average velocity of the test group decreased. While I expected to see differences in velocity spreads, I did not anticipate seeing a difference in the average velocity. In a rather unexpected pattern, the extreme spread and standard deviation also increased with primer crush amount. In fact, the extreme spread and standard deviation almost doubled over a 5 thousandths difference in final primer position, or crush if you will. Knowing you all, you want me to get down to the brass tacks of the issue. Let's do that. What is the best primer crush for the Wolf large rifle primers? Based on the suggestions from this test, it is either just touching the bottom of the primer pocket or 1 thousandths of crush. Those two settings provided the best extreme spread and standard deviation, plus they also showed the least vertical deviation in this untuned load. But we're disregarding group size. My takeaways from this experiment are twofold. First, it appears I may have been seating primers all wrong. Second, primer seating crush is far more sensitive than I thought it was. I've already designed a tool to seat primers more accurately in a bench-mounted unit to save my hands from any more damage. With these tests in hand, I think this might be something that I need to revisit and possibly put to market. I've already contacted a couple of machine shops about building a prototype. If that prototype works as expected, I will be investigating making the tool available to the public. That's all I can promise at this point. The next things that I need to accomplish this winter are to break in a barrel or two and get to know a new stock design. I'll be making videos about both of those as I do them. After that, I'll be doing a full load development on one of my new barrels. My next video on F-class shooting will be the aiming video on when to dial the scope the wrong way, intentionally. In between those videos, watch for Q&A segments as I receive questions on a regular basis. Out here in the Pacific Northwest, it is the off-season, or as I like to call it, the testing season. Until next time, go brave the winter weather and learn something new. I'll see you in the next one.